All right, everyone, welcome to the show. Special edition of Tennessee WildCast, Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency weekly podcast. What a way to start out the year, Jason.
It's been an exciting day, I'll say that much.
Interesting day. It was already going to be interesting, and then it got more interesting, and it's also been a long day. So let's introduce our guests because they won't go home.
Yeah, it's been a long day for them.
A long day. All right. Way over on this side over here, that's Harold Thompson.
Hello.
Harold is from Castilian Springs, Tennessee, and we're going to talk about that big rack in front of him in a minute. And this is Stephen Tucker next to me. He's from Gallatin, Tennessee.
Hello.
And guys, thank y'all for being here all day long. And it's been an interesting day, hasn't it?
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us.
You're welcome, Stephen. All right, what we found out today, and we'll go ahead and tell you that right off the bat, is that Stephen's rack right here, that one right there, it's a non-typical rack taken from a deer that he harvested in November during the muzzleloader season. It has been measured today by Tennessee Boone & Crockett scores, and it measures 312 3/8 inches, making it the world record non-typical deer.
To be harvested by a hunter.
By a hunter, free roaming, harvested by a hunter, and that hunter happens to be you, Steve.
Yes, sir.
That is awesome. It's been an awesome day watching you and watching everything happen. And when they came in, the scores did, and brought you in here and told you that it was a world record, it felt pretty good, I bet.
Yes, sir.
Has it been? What happened with Stephen? Jason, you know this, but he killed this deer back in November, and then you have to go through this long process of letting this thing dry out. You knew it might be the world record. Captain Dale Grandstaff had been working with you. You knew it might be a world record, but you had to wait 60 days for it to dry out. Was it tough?
Yes, sir. It is a little tough, but I just tried not to think about it. Just
what'd you do with the rack while you were waiting?
I kept it in a local bank at the end there.
Wow.
So it's been stored away.
It's been locked
Yes, sir.
up then.
Well, and now you got to hear it. And the next question is we'll talk in a minute about what the process is going to go from here on. But what's the process for you next, Stephen? What are you going to do with this buck? Is it being mounted or what's happening?
Yes, sir. I am gonna mount it.
Okay, and what is it going to be, a full body mount or is it going to be a head mount, or how are you going to do it?
I still haven't decided.
Okay.
Probably a pedestal mount, front legs.
Okay, and it will be displayed where?
In your living room?
In my living room.
People want to know that kind of stuff. This was a buck, and you can tell them a little bit about what happened, or as much as you want to. I know you got a lot of obligations that you're meeting with people across the country or whatever, but tell us what you can about the buck. How did you go about getting it, and did you have any idea?
I had no idea until this year, early September, when we were shelling corn on a farm, that the deer was even there.
So, and you're talking about a farm in Gallatin, in Sumner County, Gallatin, Tennessee, somewhere.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you had no idea this thing was.
No, sir. This year we've had the farm 40 years and never knew that deer was there. Never seen a deer, anything like it there. I actually wasn't the first one to see it. My uncle, he was the first one to see it, and he called me and told me to turn around and look because I was on the other end of the field from him. And I turned around, and as soon as I seen it, I said, I've got to set up on this deer and get some trail cameras and hunt this deer. He's something special.
Are you an avid hunter? Obviously, I know you are from listening to you today. You like to duck hunt, deer hunt, but you've been hunting. You're a young guy, but you've been hunting a long time.
Since I was 10 years old.
Okay, and then obviously not the first buck you ever killed?
No, sir.
All right. Is it the only one that you got on the wall?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, it's a great buck. And tell them what were you hunting? You were hunting a muzzle loader, but a little bit about that, what you used and where were you?
I was hunting a cornfield out of ground blind using a muzzle loader.
What caliber?
50 caliber
50
muzzle
caliber,
loader.
okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, and did you kill it in the early part of the season, or was it in the later or middle part of the season?
First couple days of muzzleloader season.
You're not going to waste any time, were you? I wouldn't have. So anyway, and when you took it down, there was photographs that circulated out on Facebook everywhere. Was that your buddies that took the photo, or?
Yes, sir. I had some buddies take some photos.
Jason's showing them behind us, or you can see them up on the screen right there. And I bet people started telling you right off the bat that was going to be a special buck.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good deal. Did you have to track him very far?
About 80 yards.
Okay. and took him care of there. And I think Dale Grandstaff came over and measured him that night, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
Were you? What was the thoughts in the ground blind? Were you afraid he was going to see you, or it seemed pretty easy hunt?
I was afraid he was going to see me. I still had the mesh up, so I shot through the mesh.
Okay.
And when I saw him, he was about 30 yards looking right at the blind, and I said, I'm going to be real still. And when he goes to walking, I'm going to reach for my gun. He started walking. I reached for my gun, shouldered it, and as soon as I shouldered it, he stopped and looked right back at the blind again.
Wow.
And, how nervous were you doing that, or was it common experience?
Well,
experience.
It was the third time I'd encountered him. So.
Oh, yeah.
So you'd seen the buck before?
Yes, sir. And I had, actually, the fourth, actually. I've seen him when I was working, and then that was the fourth time. But that was the third time I saw him hunting.
I got you.
All right.
And I knew then I had to hold it together because I wasn't going to get another chance.
The third was the charm this time, wasn't
yes,
it?
sir.
It was. So hit him pretty good and got him down and took care of him right away. And
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
Okay, and then world record today. By the way, it's 312 and 3/8 on Boone and Crockett. But one of our commissioners was here today, Bill Swan, who happens to be official scorer for Safari Club International.
Mm-hmm.
They also measured the deer. What happened there?
They measured him at 321 inches. As of right now, he's the biggest non-typical deer to ever be put in the Safari Club International books.
So it looks like Safari Club International.
He's number one.
He's number one, and that's official. That doesn't have to. We're going to talk about the Boone and Crockett. That's official today, just like Harold's deer is official today. We'll talk about in a minute. Don't have to wait for 2 years for Boone and Crockett to meet. What happened with this deer is that it's official. It's official, unofficial kind. It's a pending world record.
Mm-hmm.
Boone and Crockett meets in 2 years. They have some kind of awards banquet, and they won't meet until 2019. So you got to wait some more. 60 days is going to be nothing. But they meet then, and they'll measure it again and go from there. But it's a pending world record to then. And you had 5 people today, 4 or 5 people, all standing around measuring that thing. It took hours to get done. They were really meticulous, very slow in how they measured it, and it all felt pretty good. So, but we got to wait that time. And I expect you're going to be doing a little traveling, talking about this deer between now and then.
Yes, sir. I hope so.
What's your wife's name, by the way?
Her name is Caitlin Tucker.
And how has she handled all this?
Very well.
Okay. Because you gotten a lot of calls, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, good for Caitlin. She's a good lady.
Well, thank you. I
All
appreciate
right.
that.
Sure. I want to talk to Harold real quick. You ready, Harold?
I'm ready.
All right. You're tired. I know you are. You're over there thinking about smallmouth bass now, right?
That's right. I'm ready to go fishing.
Harold and I talked a lot today. He's a good fisherman over on Center Hill, and Del Hollow Lake is where he's been going catching those fish. But, Harold, you came in today, and I heard you were coming. And I heard you were also bringing a big buck in here, and I had no idea that it was going to end up being what it was. Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
This buck that you're looking at there, it is a typical. It's a typical rack measured by Safari Club International,
Correct.
And they measured it at 184. Is that correct, Harold?
That's correct.
And it's the number one muzzleloader deer, typical now in the Southeast, which is 12 states.
For Safari Club International
Safari
scoring.
Club, sorry,
Yep.
Safari Club International scoring. And number 3, was it all weapons?
Number 3, all weapons.
Outstanding.
Correct. Thank you very much.
Cool. Tell us about it. Tell us what you did. What happened?
Well, I didn't have but about 2 hours to hunt that morning. It was opening day.
Can I stop just for a second? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Mm-hmm.
These 2 guys killed these deer 20 minutes from each other, okay? 3 days apart. All right,
Yeah.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No problem. And I had a doe and a real nice 8-point underneath my tree stand. And I was going to take the 8-point, but he never would get where I could shoot him, and he just took off running. And I thought, well, what did I do, But the doe didn't go anywhere, and I thought, well, wonder why she stayed. And I looked to the left in the middle of a winter wheat field, and he was standing there, and I thought, oh, no, now I'm in real trouble because she's going to bust me, and I'm not going to get a deer at all. But he just came right straight to her, and he was 25 yards from me, and he quartered, and I shot him in the shoulder. But he didn't fall, he didn't do anything, just walked off. And I could see him when he went down a fence row, and I got down about an hour later to look for him. Didn't find any blood or anything, and I thought, oh gosh, I've missed the biggest deer I'll ever see. How am I going to tell everybody? I'm just not going to say anything about it, And then I found him laying in a fence row, and I thought, oh gracious, what have I done, But I didn't realize that he was as big probably as he is, and I took him to Buddy Poindexter, and we hung him in the storage house.
Mr. Poindexter has a store in
Gallatin,
Tennessee.
Then everybody got to saying, Harry, you need to go get that deer. That's a pretty good deer. So I finally, after 3 days, went and got it, and realized then that, hey, I've got a pretty good deer here. So
And here's the ironic thing: these two guys are good friends.
Correct.
Y'all have known each other a long time.
And he's a good hunter. I'm proud of him. So proud of Stevie. He's like say, if I had a son, I'd want him to be just like Stevie.
Well, you said he's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
So that's pretty
Nice
neat.
guy.
So what? I don't know, Harold, that we talked about. What were you muzzle loading or what were you doing?
Muzzleloader.
Okay, muzzleloader hunting, and they did say that today. I'm sorry. So that's the number one southeast muzzleloader buck, typical. 184 points. Did you have any idea when you were coming in today?
No. I just thought I had a good deer, and I was going to ride along with Steve, you know.
What was the Boone and Crockett score that our guys got on it?
173. 173.
173 Boone and Crockett.
He'll make their record book. Okay.
Oh, that's easy. Tennessee Register.
Yeah.
And by the way, I guess I should say Stevens buck also. We're talking about world records, but you blew away the state record
Oh, gosh.
by lots and lots, which also happened to be from the same county about 12, 13 years ago. Correct.
Yes, sir.
So not very far from. I think it's another city in Sumner County, but not too far from you guys.
Yes, sir.
Has this made you guys? Maybe not you yet, Harold, but it almost has created a celebrity kind of feel around at least Steven, and you might be getting some of it yourself, Harold.
Well,
He's pretty famous on Facebook and Twitter right now.
Right now he is. He's trending.
you know, I don't really do Facebook. My wife does, and she shows me all this stuff, and I say, well, it was a good deer, June, you know. And I have 10 deer, but they all didn't get any farther than the garage. But this one is going to make it in the house.
Awesome.
He's coming in the house.
You're willing to go to war over that, and if you have to.
Yeah,
He's going over the mantle, right?
he's going over the mountain.
Well, it's both terrific, and y'all have two stories that y'all can go and talk about together for a long, long time. And Harold, I don't know about you. I heard Steven talking to our director Ed Carter a while ago, and we're gonna have some stuff out on Facebook that I think all of y'all want to see that we're doing. But Steven's young, going to keep on hunting and try to best what he's done. That may not ever happen, but you're not going to let it get in the way of going out and hunting bucks.
No, sir.
Yeah.
Does it give you the fever to go more?
Yes, sir. He kind of does.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, you always want to keep going.
A lot of people say, if I kill something like that, I won't have to go back anymore. But I think it would make me want to go back.
No, now I want to kill something like Mr. Harold's got.
Well, yeah, yours is non-typical. You got to go for typical and vice versa.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Harold, I know you've taken a lot of bucks. You're a good sportsman, good fisherman, and good hunter all these years. But how does it make you feel about going back outside?
I still love the sport. I really do. It's not all about the harvest sometimes. It's all about the hunt to me. You know, I love seeing how they react in the woods. It's a fun thing that I love to do. And it really, this deer will let me, I've started about 4 years ago. I've let a lot of good deer walk, and I wish everybody would do the very same thing. Instead of killing a 1-year-old, 2-year-old buck, I just wish that more people would let them walk and let them grow, and then we'd have, the genes are in Tennessee. This is a proof of it right here. If we would just be a little bit more conscientious hunters and let them grow, and I'm not trying to, tell everybody how to hunt, but I like to see them grow. Used to, when I was younger, I wasn't that way. I had a habit of, if it had horns, I wanted it.
Right.
And, I just think we should and I love the 2-buck limit now. I think it's a great thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a great thing.
It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. I don't know that the 2-buck limit necessarily had anything to do with y'all's deer. Maybe
I think
not.
It did. I think
but
it did. No.
Our guys upstairs want to think it did, for sure. Our wildlife division does. But it does seem like when we go cut it back the last few years, even to 3, they grew a little bit more.
Grew a little bit.
So. All right, guys, y'all were great. I appreciate everybody sticking in there. We've had friends with them, and they're all going to get hats and shirts.
I appreciate you having us.
Yes, thanks for being here.
It's been
a fun day.
I've been at the agency a long time, guys. This has been one of the more interesting days in a long career here, and y'all been good sports.
Thank you.
I appreciate you very much, both of you. All of you.
Yeah, appreciate it. You can watch this show at TennesseeWildCast.com or listen right there. You can watch on tnwildlife.org. We're on TWRA TV on YouTube.
Check the Facebook out for a lot of stuff
everywhere,
posted with all this stuff in our newsroom. And we'll be back next week after we go to a commission meeting and get the duck season almost set, guys. Y'all be interested in that. And we'll see you next week.
Thank y'all.